Dr. Caldwell, good to see you again. We're here at the Health Freedom Expo in outside Chicago. Let's talk about health freedom. What's the biggest threat to our health freedom today, you think?
That people are not willing to stand up for themselves. We would think normally our government. Our government does only what the people that are under that government allow their government to do. And very often people look for a lot of outsiders for answers or to be the bad guys. I learned over the last years that actually so many people that work for the government, many people that work for the police officers. I'm an honorary member of the New York Police Department, for example, where I do a lot for the 911 responders and these kind of things. And I found the last 2 years that there are so many wonderful people working on our side. I found so many people contacting me for the military and saying, we only do what we are supposed to do, but when the time is right, we are willing to do our right thing, whatever this right thing might be. But our greatest threat is that people are willing to calm down. They are willing, if somebody just says, okay, we're going to take care of this, they stop fighting back. And now whoever is behind all of this, if we call it the New World Order, or if we call it the Illuminati, or we just call it the greedy guy that works for the pharmaceutical industry, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day how we call these people. Because what's really happening and what is kind of like so sad is since they, whoever they are, controlling the mainstream media, and thank God's got people like you are out there telling the truth, and our videos obviously have always a huge impact, and you're doing such a great job, and the two of you are just a great team, and it really is good what you're doing, and you are the opposite of the threat for the health freedom. But to come back to that, it is really just they control the entire mainstream media, newspapers and the TV stations and so on. And it is very interesting for me to watch. You can educate somebody, and after you educated them, they go out and they say, now I know, and I will stand up for myself. And then they watch the next video clip, and some official, some politician just says, don't worry about it, we know about it, we take care of it. And then they say, oh, okay, they are taking care of it. So complacency actually is really the main threat to our health freedom. But also it's people that are oblivious in their positions. People in the middle level of military, police, or the government that are enforcing lower laws that are completely absurd. Arresting people for selling raw milk, for example, is, in my opinion, a part of treason. Because if you fight your own people, if you create a war, or you fight a war against your own people, that, in my opinion, is treason. And if somebody gets arrested for basically selling a certain kind of vitamin, or telling somebody that vitamin B17, Laetrile, apricot seeds is curing cancer and gets arrested, or a medical doctor prescribing to his patients Laetrile and cures them from cancerous tumors, loses his license and gets arrested. The people in the middle of all of this that are enforcing these absurd laws that very often just executive orders. Obama has the right to make or the president in general, to make an executive order how his letterhead has to look like. He has absolutely no lawful right to make law with an executive order. This is another threat to our health freedom or freedom in general. The politicians dare to do things they are absolutely not allowed to do. It's completely unlawful. But everybody's just swallowing it. And if somebody runs into opposition, or they say, oh, President so-and-so did it before. So, okay, if my neighbor murdered somebody a year ago, so it's okay to murder somebody in this neighborhood? It's absurd. I mean, it's really, really absurd. And we're getting more and more to a point where we have to learn to stick together. We have calculated it down, not we personally, some of my friends, that about the entire Earth physically is run and controlled and owned, all the companies, all the physical landmass, by about 300 families, about 7,000 people. We are 7 billion. These 7,000 people control us, suck us out, put us in jail for no reason, no lawful reason, and they're living off our pain. And we are we need to start communicating with each other. They are out there telling certain TSA agents, okay, bother the people that go through it, bother a certain kind of people. But not all TSA agents are bad. I had to learn that because at the beginning I thought all TSA agents are bad. And I figured out they're not. There's a lot of nice people. There's a lot of people like us out there. And the more you communicate, the more you find out we are all the same. We are not that different. It doesn't matter what skin color we have. It doesn't matter what race we have. We are all alike. And everybody just wants to be happy and healthy and being left alone by authorities that are trying to take our rights away. And I think miscommunication and non-communication is another part of a huge threat to our health freedom. But the main part is really complacency or fear. I don't want to look at this because it's so horrible. If this is really true, my entire world picture falls apart. So they are afraid of losing everything they learned, everything they believe in. And when we all start now coming together, and this is what the Health Freedom Expo and Julie Klein and Paul Andrews are putting together here, is unity. We are uniting each other. We started to communicate with each other. I'm communicating, to be honest, now at the Health Freedom Expo with people I wouldn't have really wanted to talk with years ago. And now I'm thinking, who am I to have the audacity to judge somebody just because he hugs a tree? Okay? Because I've always said, you know, the tree huggers to the left, the normal people to the right. And then I figured out, wait a second, that's exactly what they want. Divide and conquer. And now we're all talking together, and my speech about the only answer to cancer, how to get rid of eliminate the root cause of all disease. People are lining up, every seat was full, people were around the walls, people were sitting in the hallways. Last year, the same thing. So we're getting more and more people that are open, more and more people that are willing to stand up, willing to learn. I even like it when they ask me something and say, can you explain that? Then I'm thinking, wow, yeah, you're in it. You want to know, you want to do something with it. And this is what makes it all worth it. And these Health Freedom Expos now, getting better and better and better. The quality of speakers are getting better. And we are really, really full of excitement. But to answer really your question in a summary, the main problem, the main threat to our health freedom is first of all complacency, second of all ignorance, and third of all miscommunication or non-communication. And I think you're doing such a great job for now these years already to educate people in the right way and give them what they're really looking for, information.